Let's talk about the disease cycle, what it is, and its different stages. A disease cycle is the events that occur before, during, and after plant disease. Different groups of pathogens have different specific disease cycles, but here are 5 general broad steps. Firstly, we have the production of primary inoculum and then dispersal of this inoculum. Once the inoculum finds its plant host, we have penetration of the plant tissue. Third, we have infection. Then we have growth and reproduction of the pathogen. And then, in some cases, we have overwintering survival structures that are formed. So let's take a closer look at these steps. Firstly, we have the production of inoculum and dispersal. Now, inoculum is the part of the pathogen that initiates the disease process. So this can be individual bacterial cells, as we see here, which are these little red blobs right here. Or we can have nematodes, which are right here. Or even fungal spores, which are right here. So these are the structures that have to be produced first. Then they are dispersed to their host. This can occur via water, wind, insects, or human activity. Next, we have penetration of plant tissue. So now that the disease agent is on the plant, it actually has to get inside the plant. Fungi and nematodes are capable of penetrating plant tissue directly. That's shown here in this example with a fungal spore. Bacteria and viruses, however, cannot penetrate plant tissue directly. They have to passively enter the plant. So for example, bacteria, right here, can enter the plant through stomata, which are tiny openings on the undersides of the leaf. Additionally, bacteria and viruses can enter leaves through wounds. Next, we have infection. Once the pathogen has penetrated or entered the plant, it must infect the plant so that the pathogen can acquire food. Now, just because the pathogen penetrates the plant does not mean it always successfully infects it. So let's take a look here on the left side of the screen first. The plant will mobilize its defense system, and the pathogen must overcome these defenses in order to successfully infect the plant. So we have 2 options here, and this is just an example with a fungus, but the same can occur with viruses, bacteria, and nematodes. So if the plant defense wins, and the plant defense is represented here by these little circles and squares, if the plant defense wins, right here, we're going to follow this pathway, then we have no disease, and the plant wins and is very happy. However, if the plant defense system loses, then the fungus successfully infects the plant, and the fungus is happy, and we get disease. So once infection has been successful, the pathogen will grow and begin to reproduce. Some pathogens produce a second round of inoculum. This is known as secondary inoculum. This allows the pathogen to spread and infect new hosts. This inoculum begins the disease cycle at step 2. So here in this example, we just have some fungal spores being produced here and here. And then we have, in this example, we have bacteria, which are replicating and producing more bacteria. So finally, at the end of the season, the pathogen must survive the winter until the next growing season. Now, some pathogens will produce a specialized structure that protects themselves from the harsh elements of winter. This enables them to be able to produce inoculum at the start of the next growing season and begin the disease cycle all over again. So it's important to remember that even though I have listed these as steps in a numerical list, it's actually a cycle. So that is constantly occurring over and over and over again.